Welcome to the course of Cryptography and Network Security. So this course is for 4th BTech first sem. Myself G. Prashanti, Department of Information Technology, Vignan's Lara Institute of Technology and Science. So in previous class we have gone through your hash functions, where hash functions are used to provide integrity of the message. To provide integrity to a message, we can use the hash functions. These hash functions generate a modification detection code, okay, or called as MDC. When you apply the hash function on a message, it will be generating a modification detection code. By using this modification detection code, we can check the integrity of the message. Okay, so here hash functions generates a modification detection code, which is nothing but a message digest that can prove the integrity of the message. Okay, integrity of the message means that the message has been changed or not. So here this is the scenario here, where what is the message that we are having. So the message goes through the hash function, or you can say the hash algorithm. So after going through the hash algorithm generates a modification detection code. Okay, and then the sender will be sending the message. Okay, he will be sending the message along the modification code to the receiver. Okay, so here the sender first generates a modification detection code by applying hash algorithm on the message. After generating that modification detection code, so the sender will be, or we can say the Alice. Here the Alice is nothing but the sender. So and then what Alice will be doing is that the Alice will send the message as well as the modification detection code to the receiver. Here the receiver is nothing but the Bob. Okay, so she will send the message along with the modification code to the Bob. Channel is an insecure channel. So here an unauthorized person will be like doing some modifications or doing some alterations on the message. Okay, so as soon as the message is received, what the Bob will do is that the Bob verifies whether any authorized person or any unauthorized person. Okay, here Bob verifies that unauthorized person have done any alteration on the message. Okay, so here to verify that, what he will be doing is that, so here the Bob takes the message M. Okay, so here the Bob takes the message M that is sent by the Alice, and then he will be applying the hash algorithm. Okay, whatever the hash algorithm Alice has applied, the same hash algorithm will be applied by the Bob on the message M. So by applying the hash algorithm on the message M, he will be getting the modification detection code. Okay, so he will be computing this modification detection code. After getting that modification detection code, he will be comparing this modification detection code with the modification detection code that is sent by the Alice. Okay, so whatever the modification detection code that the Bob has computed, that is compared with the MDC that is sent by the Alice. So he compares both. If both are same, okay, if both codes are same, that means that he will be accepting the message, which means that the message has not been altered by any unauthorized person. Okay, if both these codes are not same, okay, if both these codes are not same, that means that the Bob will be rejecting the message, because some unauthorized person has done some alterations on the message. Okay, since somebody has tampered the message, what Bob will be doing is that he will be rejecting the message. Okay, so that is about the hash function, where hash function is used to check the integrity of the message. Okay, to check the integrity of the message, what the sender will be doing is that, so he will be applying like hash algorithm on the message, which generates a message digest called as the modification detection code. Okay, and then the sender along with the message sends the modification detection code to the receiver. So what the receiver will be doing is that he will be taking the message. On the message, he will be again applying the hash algorithm. Okay, the hash algorithm, same algorithm that is applied by the sender. Okay, So he will be applying the same hash algorithm and he will be generating the modification detection code. After generating this modification detection code, he will be comparing this MDC with the modification detection code that is sent by the sender. If both are same, then he will be accepting the message, which means that the message has not been tampered by any unauthorized person. Okay, so if both the codes are not same, okay, if both these are not same, okay, not same means that somebody has tampered, some unauthorized person has tampered the message. That is why both these codes are not same. So in that case, the receiver will be rejecting the message. Okay, so that is about the hash functions. So there are several hash algorithms that are available. Okay, so there are several hash algorithms that are available to generate this modification detection code. Okay, so one common, familiar and most commonly used hash function is your SHA-512 algorithm. SHA in the sense secure hash algorithm. Secure hash algorithm. Algorithm 512. 512 means that it generates a message digest of 512 bits. Okay, so that means that this hash algorithm generates a message digest, or we can say modification detection code of 512 bits. Okay, so here this is the process that is implemented in SHA-512. So where here whatever the message that you are having, okay, first the message has to be converted into a multiple of 1024 bits. So whatever the message that you are having, so that message has to be converted into a, or we can say that message has to be the multiple of 1024 bits. Okay, so if required you can do the padding. Okay, by doing the padding, by adding the padding bits, you can make the message a multiple of 1024 bit blocks. Okay, after making the message a multiple of 1024 bit blocks, you will be dividing the message into blocks. Each block of size 1024 bits. Okay, so after making the message a multiple of 1024 bit block, okay, so you will be dividing that message into blocks, into n blocks. Okay, you will be dividing the message into n blocks, where each block is of size 1024 bits. Okay, so after dividing your message into blocks, okay, after dividing the message into blocks where each block of size 1024 bits, each block will be processed. Okay, now each block will be processed. So first the first block will be processed, where the first block of message will be going through a compression function. Okay, so this compression function takes the 1024 bits of message. Okay, so along with this 512 bits initial value. Okay, this is said to be the initial buffered value. Okay, so along with this initial value, so the first block of message will be going through a compression functions, where in the compression functions you will be going through some 80 rounds. After going through the 80 rounds, you will be generating a 512 bits. Okay, so this 512 bits is nothing but a intermediate hash value. Okay, so here the first message block along with this initial value will be going to a compression function. Okay, and the output of this compression function is a 512 bits, and this 512 bits is said to be an intermediate hash value. Okay, so after processing the first block, again the second block will be processed, where the compression function of where here the compression function takes the second block of the message as well as the previous hash value. Okay, so this compression function takes the second block of message and the previous hash value, and again in this compression function some 80 rounds will be going through, and the output of this compression function is again an 512 bits intermediate hash value. Okay, so in this way, so again a third block will be going. In this way you will be processing all the blocks. Okay, in this way you will be processing all the n blocks. Okay, so the output of the last block, okay, the output of the last nth block will be your final message digest. Okay, the output of your block n. Okay, that is nothing but your last block. Okay, after the last block is processed, the whatever the 512 bits that you are getting, so that will be your final message digest, or we can say your modification detection code. Okay, by using this modification detection code, you can prove the integrity of the message. Okay, so that is about the secure hash algorithm. Where in secure hash algorithm, first what you have to do is that you have to make the message a multiple of 1024 bit blocks by doing padding. Okay, by padding the bits, you can make the message multiple of 1024 bit blocks. After that, you will be dividing the message into blocks of 1024 bits. Okay, so you will be dividing into the message into n blocks, where each block takes 1024 bits. After that, each block will be processed. Okay, where each block goes through a compression function along with the initial buffer value, and finally you will be getting a 512 bits intermediate hash value, and again second block will be going through the compression function along with the previous hash value, where here in the compression function 80 rounds will be processed, and the output will be your 512 bits. Okay, so this process will be repeated for all the n blocks, and the output of the final nth block is your 512 bits, which will be your final message digest value, or you can say your final hash code value, which you will be using for checking the integrity of the message. Okay, so next, this is the overall structure. Okay, this is the overall structure of your secure hash algorithm 512. So now let's see what is this compression function. Okay, what is the structure of this compression function? Okay, so this is the structure of this compression function. Okay, where this compression function takes the initial buffer value. Already we have said that. So this compression function along with the block of message, it takes this initial buffer value. Okay, so this initial buffer value, you are having 512 bits, and these 512 bits are divided and these 512 bits are stored in the registers. Okay, and these 512 bits are stored in the 8 registers called as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, whatever the initial value that you are having, 512 bits that you are having. Okay, so that 512 bits are stored in these register values. Okay, so and then these values what you are having is that they will be going through the round 0. Okay, so these are the your results of previous block, or we can say your initial digest. Okay, so here these are the 8 registers that you are having, where in these 8 registers you will be storing your previous digest value. Okay, so like whatever the 512 bits that you are getting, these 512 bits will be stored in this these 512 bits will be stored in these registers called as the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H value. Okay, and then these values will be going through the round 0. Okay, so after going through the round 0, where it goes through the round 0, and this is your message. Okay, so this is your message W0. Okay, so where the W0 along with a constant value K0, it goes through the round 0. Okay, after going through the round 0, you will be again getting some intermediate value. Okay, so that intermediate value again goes to round 1. Okay, so output again intermediate value. So in that way it goes through 79 rounds. Okay, so whatever the final 512 bits that you are having. Okay, so whatever the final 512 bits that you are having, those will be XORed with the those will be XORed with your initial values. Okay, so whatever these values that you are getting, these values are XORed with your initial buffer value. Okay, so that is the XOR value, and finally this you will be getting your final digest. Okay, the values of the next block, or we can say the final digest value. Okay, if it is like block n, okay, if it is a last block, then this will be your final digest value. If it is like intermediate block, then this will be your intermediate digest value. Okay, So here, so this is your compression function. Write the compression function as we have said. Okay, as we have said, the compression function takes 1024 bits of message. Okay, along with your initial value. These 512 bits initial value that you are having, those will be stored in the registers. Registers called as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, and this is your 1024 bit block of message. Okay, so and that is your 1024 bit of block of message. So whatever the initial 512 buffer value you are having, those and your message along with a constant k will be going through the round 0. Okay, so where in round 0, what is happening in round 0? So in rounds, it will be going through the round 0, where the round 0, or we can say these rounds, this is your round structure. Okay, where in each round, this is your round function, where in each round all the 512 bits that you are having in this register will be again processed. Okay, so here if you see here, so here whatever the first A, whatever the bits that you are having in register A, so bits that are in register B and bits that are in register C, those will be going to the function called as majority ABC. Okay, and this majority ABC is nothing but your AND function along with the exclusive OR. Okay, so here this is your majority XYZ. XYZ in the sense that these are the bits that are in A register. Okay, and Y means that are the bits that are in B register, and Z means that are the bits in C register. Okay, so and these bits, so X bits and Y bits will be going through an AND operation, YZ and AND operation, Z and X goes through the AND operation, and finally all these will be XOR. Okay, so the output of this function, okay, so and then you will be doing a rotation with A. Okay, where rotate A means this one. Okay, so where rotate A means that the values in A, okay, or we can say the bits in A will be your X values. Okay, and it goes through a rotation in the sense that those bits will be rotated right. R means that rotated right 28 bits. Okay, and similarly those are rotated right 34 bits and rotated right 39 bits. Okay, after that whatever the result that you are getting, those will be XOR. Okay, so the initial X value, whatever the initial X value that you are having, those will be rotated to the right by 28 bits, rotated right by 34 bits, and rotated right by 39 bits, and then they are XOR. Okay, so that is the rotate operation. Okay, after having like H, G, F, G. Okay, so these are also your E, F, G. Whatever the bits that are stored in E, F, G, those will be going to a function called as a conditional. Okay, where this conditional function, this is your conditional function. Okay, so these X will be the bits in E, Y are the bits in F, and Z are the bits in G. Okay, so I say same again, here X and Y are done with an AND operation, and X and Z, okay, not X. Okay, X, not X, and Z operation will be done, and finally both will be XOR. You will be getting a output for the conditional XYZ. Okay, so the output of this conditional XYZ, again it goes to the rotate E. Okay, so rotate E means again this operation, where here this XY, okay, whatever the bits that are stored in E, so those bits will be called here as X. Okay, so again rotate right to 28 bits, those bits will be rotated right 28 bits, rotated right 34 bits, rotated right 39 bits, and finally they will be XOR. Okay, so after doing that, so here this is an addition operation. Okay, this is an addition modulo 2 to the power of 64. Okay, so whatever the output that you are getting from this, okay, whatever the output that you are getting from this majority function and whatever the output that you are getting from the rotate function, those will be going through an addition modulo 2 to the power of 64. Okay, so and after that the output is again, whatever the output again you are getting that, and again whatever the output that you are getting from this, those will be again done addition modulo 2 to the power of 64. Then you will be getting a value to a. Okay, so this will be your new a value after round 0. For suppose this is my round 0. Okay, so suppose this is your round 0. Okay, the output after round 0. So all these operations are done on round 0. Okay, so the output of round 0. Okay, after the output, after going through the round 0, again you will be getting a value, b value, c. These are the new a, b, c, d, e values. Okay, so here the new a value. So the new a value. Okay, so this will be your new a value after round 0. Okay, and this is your after going through this addition modulo, this is the new e value that you are getting. Okay, so this is your new a value that you will be getting, and this is the new e value that you will be getting after round 0. Okay, and the other b, c, d, f, g, h values that you will be getting from this previous blocks. Okay, that your new b value will be your a value, new c value will be your b value, new d value will be your previous c value, and already you have got your new e value from here. Okay, so already you have got your e value from here, and your f value that you will be getting from e value, and g value you will be getting from the f value. Okay, so whatever the bits that are stored in f, those will now become the g bits. Okay, so and the bits that are stored in G register will now becoming the values in H register. Okay, so whatever the bits that are stored in the G register now will be becoming the values of the H register after going through the round 0. So similarly here also, whatever the bits that are stored in F register, those will be becoming the values of the G register after going through round 0. Okay, so in that way you will be after going through the rounds. Okay, after going through the rounds, okay, these will be your previous round value, and after going through the rounds, this will be your new value. Okay, new 512 value. So in that way it will be going all through. Okay, so it will be going all through 79 rounds. Okay, so it will be going through 79 rounds. After going through the 79 rounds, whatever the final A, B, C, G, H value that you will be getting, those will be XORed with the previous register values. Okay, so finally you will be getting these values. Okay, after crossing the nth block, whatever the output 512 bits that you are getting from these registers, those will be your final digest value. Okay, or we can say those will be your final modification detection code. Okay, so that is about the SHA-512 algorithm. So this is the overall structure of your SHA-512 algorithm. Okay, where this SHA-512 algorithm takes a variable message. Okay, takes a variable message which is a multiple of 1024 bits, and after making it a multiple of 1024 bits, you will be dividing into a blocks. Okay, each block of 1024 bits, and the block as well as the initial value 512 bits will be going through the compression function. Okay, so and then you will be getting a 512 bits. So the same process will be repeated for all n blocks, and the final output of your nth block that you will be getting 512 bits, that will be your message type. Okay, so and this compression, the structure of this compression function. Okay, this is the structure of this compression function, where the compression function goes through 79 rounds. Okay, where the compression function goes through 80 rounds. Okay, so along with 0 you will be getting 80 rounds. Okay, so the compression function goes through 80 rounds, and the structure of each round, this is the structure of each round. Okay, after going through n blocks, whatever the final 512 bits that you will be getting. Okay, after going through the n blocks, whatever the final output 512 bits that you are getting, that will be your final digest value. That will be your final digest value. Okay, so that is about SHA-512 algorithm.